Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is Talking Music. Today on the show, we have Trish from Spacebat Productions.
Hey guys, what's rockin'? Hey guys, what's rockin'? This is Bat Trish with Spacebat Productions. I'm going to be bringing you a variety show right here on Music from the 412.
I wanted to start out by getting into some of your background. How did you get involved with all this media and music and stuff? How did that all come about?
Well, it's a 33-year long process. So I kind of started. I've always liked music when I was little. Unfortunately, it was more mainstream pop music. But then once I was like in middle school, I found more of the like rock music. My mom was always like listen to everything. My dad's very country. So it went from there. And so middle school, I was figuring it out. High school, I got into ninth grade, and there was this punk band that was like 4 years older than me. And I remember like going out on an activity day and they were playing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is who I am now. So I started going to shows, and I was really into the local scene. I'm from like Corey, Pennsylvania. It's near Erie. There's a place Edinburgh, and there was a place called the Hangout. So that was like where I hung out, and that kind of like guided my personality. And then I came to Pittsburgh for film school, ended up working in news, and they handed me a camera, and I was like, I want to be involved in the local scene. And I became Bat Trish and started my show 412s.
Awesome. Now, I wondered if you could tell me a couple uh, different things about these topics. 412 NES, you did that for WTAE Channel 4 News. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So I was a news editor there, and they started a project. It was called For the 412. We're all about 412s here in Pittsburgh. So yeah, they had a test project, and they actually didn't pick me for the first time because I'd never made YouTube. So I started my own. Then they hired me. They gave me an iPhone and kind of just were like, go make things about Pittsburgh. So one day I was sitting, I was doing my makeup, and I just like came to me 412 tunes, like 412 Pittsburgh tunes, music, and then I'd like do a stupid math equation like minus the TU, and it's 4-1 tunes. So I really started there, and I jumped into the music scene. I wasn't part of it really when I was in college, which is weird. I just didn't know where to go. And then now it's become my family, and like everyone I know like has to do with the music scene.
And you also did something for WQED. It was a thing called Sessions.
Yeah, I currently work at WQED right now. I'm a teaching artist for high school students, and then they have a series called Sessions where I get to interview bands for like part of my job, and it's really cool. It takes it to like it was a different level. Before it was YouTube vlogging, like I was in front of the camera and behind the camera doing everything. Now it's like a whole production, and there's a team, and we can go out and we film like almost a whole music video. So that's like really like grown my career, and like my passions are like now like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. And you just started a show for music from the 412, the new music video channel in Pittsburgh. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, some more 412 stuff. So Music from the 412 is a new channel that started in Pittsburgh by a guy named Rocky. It's like MTV kind of style, but for Pittsburgh only. I mean, it's only for mostly Pittsburgh bands, but anyone can watch it. And you have to like go for the shows you want to watch, and you tune in all day and you get the music videos. It's not like online. Well, I mean, you can stream it online, but it's not like an on-demand thing. You can't just like go and hit play. You have to like wait for the show to come on. So I got involved because they wanted to use some of my old videos of 401 tunes. And I was like, well, you know, some of them are owned by different people. Plus they're really outdated, and I've like grown my skill. So I was like, why don't I just make my own show? And my show is called Spacebat Productions Presents. I kind of went with Space Bats rather than 401 tunes because it can like really cover like everything that I do. Yeah, and it's called Presents is because like each episode is going to be different. My different friends are hosting just because a 1 hour show is a lot for one person to do every week. So I just like kind of have my own network under the Music from the 412 network.
Can you tell us about one of those episodes?
Sure. Let's see. The first one I can talk about was with Chip and the Charge Ups. There's like a pop punk band here in Pittsburgh. They're so much fun. So I was interviewing them actually for work. And I had a holiday sessions, which they performed their song Black and Gold Christmas. And as part of that, I was like, hey, well, I'm starting this new show. I love you guys. Like, let's team up and do the first episode of my show. So they had a heavier song called out that just came out called Paying Back the Devil. And I was like, this is perfect. It was super like simple setup. It was easy for me to do. I had two cameras and we did like all this red lighting. And then I just edited together music video style. We did an interview. And then I have a friend, TJ Harris. He's making interviews animated. I'm saying a lot. I apologize. It's always when you think about it. Anyways, so yeah, they're making animations. My friend Lexa Terrestrial is having a show called Aliens Over Pittsburgh, and a guy, Mr. Bones and Brendan Grimes, are helping out. So they each are doing their own interviews. So the first one, the three of them went out and like interviewed people listening to Lexa Terrestrial's music to see if they liked it without telling them it was her. So it was just like pop punk and then hip hop, and then there's like the DJ animation in there. So it's just a well-rounded, fun, put together show, like made by the people and for the people.
Okay. In your background, you said you went to film school. Was that something you were looking at when you were back in high school, like you knew you wanted to go there, or you just decided, hey, this sounds pretty cool, you know?
So I said I'm from the country, so I felt like I lived under a rock, and I didn't, people make movies, but I never put it in like, oh, I can go to school and I can actually do that. So I actually went to my first college was for graphic design because I was like, I want to be creative. I'm not sure what I want to do. I didn't even know if I really wanted to go to college. So I went for graphic design and that was a lot of fun. But, that was like 2008, 2010. And like, that's when like everyone was getting into being a graphic designer. It was like, the rise of like social media and stuff. And I was like, well, it's really hard to find a job. I was working for a newspaper. I was like the paginator doing the layout. And I was like this isn't what I want to do forever. And then I met someone and they were like, I just graduated film school. And I was like, you can do that. And like my mind was just like blown. And then like I applied to Point Park in Pittsburgh. It's the only place I picked. I got in and I moved to Pittsburgh. And yeah, so it's all the things put together make sense who I am now. But I did not know when I was like in high school or younger that I would be here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like you learn stuff over time and then it just forms who you are, you know?
Yeah, like I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be a pop star, a rock star. Tried the instruments, no good. So I was just part of that. And then a camera in my hand, and now like, they weren't all pieced together like knowing, but all of a sudden it just like it formed together.
Now, was that like a 2 or 4 year school?
For graphic design, it was 2 years, and then Point Park for film, it was 4 years. I went to school for a long time.
How did you come up with the name Spacebat Productions?
Okay. So I just love bats and like spooky things. I'm inspired by like Elvira, the monsters. And my friend who I mentioned before, Alexa Terrestrial, she's like an alien. That's her theme. She's a hip hop artist. And around the like first year we met, we were hanging out a lot. She had a lot of shows, and I was on stage once, and I was like, I need a name. So I was like, started calling myself Lil Bat. And then it just kind of turned into like, we're going to be the Space Bats. And we like talked about a comic. And then my other friends are like kind of in like the goth style. So then I just called my friend group the Space Bats. And then it was time to like kind of expand what I was filming. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep this name. It's really cool. It's unique. I don't know anyone else that has it. So we just like rolled with it. So it's an inspiration for my friends.
Where could we get a hold of you guys? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
I don't use Twitter, but I'm on all the other social medias. I think Facebook, Instagram. I have TikTok, and I'm not very good at posting there. I have 41tunes.com. I also have spacebatproductions.com, but 41tunes is much easier to type into your bar. But yeah, just the typical ones. I don't know why I don't use Twitter, but all the ones with pictures and videos, YouTube, all that stuff.
Now, do you like accept videos from people to put in to your show?
Yeah, so I used to have this series called Snippets, where people would just send me them, especially during COVID, and I would put together as a showcase. And for this, like I said, is a lot of work, and I have a lot of people contributing. There are segments that they specifically make for me, but I really want anyone who's involved to like get their chance. That's how I got a chance. So if anyone has something, music, mostly music related, but I'll piece other things into if they come, as long as like hopefully family friendly. A little of cussing is good, but we try to keep it like clean. But yeah, I mean, I don't like it can be anyone of every level too. So if someone's like a filmmaker and they have something music related or a band, I'll definitely like pop it in if they send it my way.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't know. There's so much to talk about, but I don't think anything else very specific. Just to watch this show, keep your eye out. We got all kinds of different things coming. I'm working week to week, so I don't even know what next week is going to bring. Um, so I film all kinds of stuff for work and for this, and it just take it minute by minute. And somehow every week I've had an episode. So keep going. Whoever's listening, like go for your passions. Don't stop. It comes together at some point. And yeah, I hope you like the show, and I hope you like music from the 412.
Yeah, and it's available on Roku, and you could watch stream it on the website too.
Yeah, so it has its own app on Roku, and then I think on Amazon Fire, they may have added another place too, and then you can stream it right from their website.